Alright guys, so today's video is going to be about occupying your mind and finding a way to occupy it when you are struggling with mental health, whether it's anxiety, depression or something else is making you feel that way. So we're going to look at hobbies. I'm going to show you what my hobby is. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the best at it, but I enjoy going. Keeps my mind feeling nice, joyful, happy, as a human's mind should be. Okay, so yeah, this video is going to show. I'm going to talk to you about is all about trying to occupy your mind. Okay, so in this video you'll see maybe a couple of clips of me today doing my hobby. Okay, and we'll go on from there. Thank you. Oh, hello. There we go. Imagine how long it takes to pick up all these golf balls. What? Oh!
What? Yours?
Yeah. I was dead happy. I aimed at the floor then. And welcome back. So you've just seen what I do for a hobby, which is playing golf. Well, driving range at the moment, obviously, because I'm still learning technique and everything. So, but let's get on to what a hobby does for you and what my hobby does for me. Okay, so I've thought about playing golf, or testing out golf, I should say, since I was 15. So when I brought my first set of clubs last year, my dad said to me, it's about time, because he knew I always wanted to try it, and he always said to me when I was growing up, and this is where I got this from, if you don't try, then you will 100% not know, you will 100% fail. If you do try, then you have a 50% chance of succeeding or enjoying it. And it's as simple as that. Because what a hobby does is it builds your self-esteem. It literally improves your mood. It makes you feel like you're accomplishing something. It releases dopamine, which is the I can't even say it now, neurotransmitter from the brain. So obviously, like I said in my last episode about the transmitters in your brain, well, doing a hobby you really enjoy releases dopamine, which is the pleasure transmitter. So I honestly, enjoy golf. I have great time playing it, and it builds your character as well, because I don't just go by myself. I go with someone who I do know, but there's people there, we can chat to as well and stuff like that. They give me some tips and my mate tips, and stuff like that. So it's really good to have a hobby, because let me tell you, when I had to stop exercising for a bit, because my knee was getting a bit worse at times, especially with the cold weather. My shoulder had been playing up a bit, I couldn't really do much, and so I was literally sat in my house doing nothing, and I was comfort eating, and that's the last thing you want to do is comfort eat. Believe me, because I've put weight on. It's slowly coming off, slowly again, which I'm happy about. You know, so again, because I'm losing weight, it literally gives me joy and happiness, and it releases that dopamine effect as well again. So you know, the worst thing for someone is to literally be bored with someone who suffers with mental health, because that's when your mood decreases, you're not realistically socializing, so you're not meeting people to perhaps have a good time, you know, doing your hobby and stuff like that. And you know, you really should, you know. And when I say hobbies, just because mine is golf doesn't mean yours has to be a sport. Okay, yours could literally be a dance class, join an acting theatre group. You know what I mean? It could be you take a cooking class, whether it's in a kitchen somewhere in the town or city you live in, or whether it's an online and you Skype in. You know what I mean? It's one of those, and you've got to find something that makes you very happy. But my dad taught me this saying, and you know, he's right with what he used to say to me when I was growing up. If you do not try, you will 100% fail. But if you do try, then you have 50% of succeeding. For me, I've spoke about golf since I was 15, and when I finally brought my first set of clubs last year, and I told my dad, he said to me, well, it's about time, isn't it? You've been talking about it since you was 15. And you know what? He's right. I had been, and I've just been putting it off. And I'm actually glad that I haven't now. You know, that I do go and play golf, because it's my little break away from the whole world. Because when you go to do your hobby, say, take my golf for instance. So when I go to play my golf, everything that is going on outside of golf, outside that driving range, disappears. It disappears from my mind. You know, my main worry becomes, right, am I going to hit this far? Or am I going to absolutely make a terrible show out of this swing? And that's it. Everything else doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And I just feel like people need to understand what having a hobby can really do for you. You know, it brings you joy, it raises your self-esteem. It definitely, especially with me with golf, it definitely does test your patience levels. But yeah, so if you don't have a hobby and you suffer with mental health, and you literally get bored very easily, and that's when your anxiety or your depression comes out massively, like how mine would trigger at times, because I was in my house alone, bored, you know, literally, you need to get a hobby, guys, and see what I mean. It's incredible. Um, the, the factors, you know, that it'll give you great pleasure in trying something new. And if you don't enjoy, if you try, but you don't enjoy it, fair enough. It that hobby hasn't planned out for you as you would have liked it to, but at least you know. So you can hold your head up high and be like, yeah, it's not for me, but at least now I know. Because last, however long ago, last month, last year, I didn't know whether it would work for me or not. But at least now I know. So I can hold my head up high, and now I'll crack on with another hobby that I always fancied learning and not doing, and then you can do it. It's as simple as that, guys. You know, you have to break your comfort zones, and not having a hobby is people being stuck in their comfort zone in a way, because you go to work, you come home, and you just sit there watching TV or playing your console or whatever, and eating junk and stuff like that. But with a hobby, it takes all that away. Like today, for instance, I came home from work, spent a bit of time with my partner before she went to work, and when she went to work was when I went out to the driving range in Newport, and it was great, because if I had any issues on my mind, those issues would stay at that front door, and I'd walk in and I'd play my golf. I then walk back out. I'm still on a high buzz that I was playing, and then comes back to reality of, right, I've got this, I've got that, whatever it is. Okay, so literally, guys, I do honestly recommend you get a hobby if you haven't. Preferably one where you interact with others. Or outdoors. So the reason I'm saying interact with people is because if you're a shy person and you don't like talking to others, then you can literally stay like that. But if you go for a hobby where you have to interact with others, it will raise your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and your people-person skills. And fresh air always does you good. If I need to take a step back and think about something logically, if I've got a lot to think about, I'll go out on a walk, and I'll just walk for ages and get fresh air in, and literally just I do my best thinking when I'm outdoors, to be honest. The fresh air helps, gets me focused. And then talking to people as well sometimes helps, Like you say to your friend, oh, I've got this idea, what do you think about it? And see what they say. But bear in mind that shouldn't change how you feel about doing that thing. Whether it's, a cooking class or a dance class or acting theatre group or any kind of sports or activities. Like, you shouldn't let anyone convince you not to do it, because then they're not helping you at all, and that's not what you want. You want people around you who will help you, who will motivate you, who'll pick you up when you're feeling down, and literally, but it'll raise so much for you. It's unreal. So yeah, I had great time today playing my hobby I love. I had great pleasure with it. So, and my self confidence is rising with it. Not massively, but it is still rising, which is still in the right direction. So, if I can get a new hobby as of last year, bear in mind I suffered, I should say, with my mental health badly, then why can't you go and do it? I know, I get that everybody is different, but if you got a hobby, watch how your mood changes because of the dopamine effect, the neurotransmitter of pleasure being released in your brain, and it gives you great satisfaction. So I honestly recommend you try and get yourself a hobby. So, because it's the best thing I did, because obviously I can't go crazy in the gym like how I used to a few years back and stuff like that, but doing golf now does make me happy. It gives me great patience skills as well, I will say. It definitely does. So yeah, basically this video has just been about hobbies and why you should have a hobby and what it can do for you both mentally and physically. So yes, I believe everyone in the world should have some sort of hobby, and for me mine is golf, and it's the best move I made. So it doesn't matter what your hobby is, whether it's playing a game of chess, go fishing for a weekend, or go learn to cook, or learn to dance, acting, theatre. It doesn't matter. It honestly does not matter what it is. As long as you're attempting to do a hobby you've always wanted to do, there is no shame in saying, yeah, I tried it, but it wasn't for me. Because at least you tried it, so you did that 50%. If you don't try, you won't. It's 100%. You'll never know. You'll fail 100% because you won't try it. But if you do try it, there is a 50% chance you succeed. You take to it, you're good at it, you like it, you want to do it again and again because of how it makes you feel, with your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your motivation, your pleasure neurotransmitter going off. Literally, it does wonders. It really does. It blows my mind how much of an impact that your hobby can do for you. It really does, because obviously not everyone is scientifically gifted with, knowing stuff about human brain and stuff. I mean, I do researches on it, and that's why I know about that. It releases the dopamine effect, which is the pleasure neurotransmitter of the brain. So I literally just recommend you guys try get a hobby. So, even if it's something you never thought you would do, but you have always thought about doing it, do it. Literally, just do it. Doesn't matter if it's any sport, cooking classes, acting, dancing, learning an instrument. Even learning an instrument for a hobby can be a massive game changer to your mental health. So, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I've rambled on a bit. So, I look forward to doing episode 3. I haven't decided yet what the topic is. I'll decide that before I go to bed. It is pretty late now. It's just past 20 past 10. So I'm going to end this now. Thank you for watching. If you can hit that like and subscribe button again, please. It's a massive, like I said, this channel, it's a massive thing for me because I did gym one before and stuff about my transformations and what exercises I was doing and stuff like that. But this is something serious because of what it does. What this channel was made for was for mental health and motivation. So it's a massive thing towards me. As people know, I'm no stranger to mental health because I suffered badly. I even attempted to end my life before, and I've come a long way since then. So I honestly would recommend following and subscribing to this channel so you can honestly just, if you suffer with mental health or someone close to you does, then I hope you see this channel and see the videos, and I hope that it does somewhat help you, because that is the main reason for this, and I honestly hope it does. So thank you and good night.